Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss with your hosts, E and Casey. A Boucher Ventures production brought to you by It's Just ETV and My Herba by the Fitness Collective. Now, without any further ado, disrupt and discuss.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone, to Disrupt and Discuss, the podcast where we break down modern challenges and explore actionable solutions. I am E.
And I am KC.
And together we are D&D. You guys, we have another one for you. We're going to talk about, what's the title? Our title is The Holiday Blues. Navigating Minefield of Emotions. We know everyone, we've come off of Thanksgiving holiday. And so Casey and I thought we would discuss, because the last couple of months of the year are usually the most impactful holidays that I feel that a lot of people experience the most, like depression, stress, or anxiety. And so we wanted to talk about that and navigating that minefield. And in this episode, we're going to dive deep into the complexities of the holiday season. And we're going to single out relationship, grieving loss, managing financial stress, navigating family conflict, and help find the meaning and balance of all those things. So our key topics are how culture around the world approaches holidays, honoring grief and embracing complex emotions, managing financial stress and redefining tradition, and building connection through kindness and self-discovery. We're also going to look at understanding psychology behind the holiday blues and how to navigate it. Sound like a plan?
I'm with it.
All right.
It's pretty packed.
It's very packed. So our first discussion that we're going to have is the unseen culture and global perspectives. Why look beyond our own traditions?
I mean, just thinking about that, it's like if you're in your own bubble, it's all about you. In so many ways, you're not the only one. And again, not discounting anybody's grief or depression, but again, when you sometimes look outside yourself, you'll see somebody, and not saying yours is worse than mine, but you'll see some people that actually have other challenges on top of what you're dealing with. And sometimes how they're dealing with can actually help you. So it's not saying, well, you can't feel a certain way because I feel like this, so I feel worse than you. No, not at all. But looking outside yourself, and that would be traveling, that'd be food, just everything. Getting outside of your bubble, you actually might learn something. And it is good to go beyond your own borders, is what it is.
I agree. And that's something that I want to kind of discover in the future. You're right. So when we're looking at the holidays in the United States, it's this big to do. Let's be honest, it's really capitalism at its height. It's all about consumption, consumerism, really. It's not really, it doesn't really have anything to do with what the original intent was for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Thanksgiving is supposed to be, we're thankful, Well, actually, the original was, what was it? The discovery of America and the, I'm not even.
You're going there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go
going
there.
there.
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let it go, but.
My house after I've been living here, right?
Right, you're right.
Okay.
Right.
Back on topic. See?
So, right. The original intent of all that was something totally different. Then we got into just being thankful for family, being thankful for friends, being thankful for just the things that we have living in this, what we call a first world country. And then Christmas, the original intent was the birth of Jesus and all that entails. Well, now it's more about the tree, the lights, the gifts, the gift giving, how big the gift can get year by year, how expensive the gift can get year by year. So none of it has been its original intent. But when we look at other cultures who don't practice these things, we can extend to learn something from them because it's really not as important as a lot of us make it out to be, right?
Right.
we
Agree.
were looking at we looked at a couple of places. I think Japan. In Japan during the holidays, well, the Christmas season, even specifically, Christmas even isn't a family holiday. It's about fun with friends and fried chicken, which, hey,
I was thinking you made a typo. I,
no,
I was like, I
they,
don't know if I'm going to say that, but okay.
they like fried chicken.
Okay.
I, and there's actually I didn't put the fun fact where they actually got who taught them about frying chicken and how it morphed, but it comes from melanated folks.
And
And so it morphed into they love fried chicken as well. But yeah, it's fun with friends and fried chicken, and it's a beloved tradition. Now, I'm getting this. This is my research. Anybody from Japan? So we got some people. We found out, Casey and I.
yeah, I was surprised.
Right. We have some people that are actually listening to us from Japan. So hit us up, Japan. Are we telling the truth? Are we not? Is this something that you guys practice? Just,
I would be interested to know
I
for
know.
sure.
I would love to see how they celebrate, not the holiday itself, but how you celebrate during that month. So, Scandinavia, we also got Scandinavia. Don't quote me on this. I believe it's Haiji. Again, folks from Scandinavia, let us know. It takes center stage. So Haiji takes center stage, focusing on creating cozy, meaningful moments over big, flashy celebrations. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know what the first part of that is, but I like the other part. I don't want you saying, yeah, I'm all for all of it and come out that it's something totally
Right.
different. But yeah, no, I like that. I like that
Yeah,
a lot.
that sounds fun. I like the flashy celebration. Mexico and the Philippines. It's all about community. Think lively parades, neighborhood feasts, and group celebrations that emphasize togetherness. I like that with regards to the neighborhood feast, like everybody getting together in a communal type of situation.
Hmm.
Considering who's cooking the food,
That
I'm still on that
see, I
level.
didn't want to sound like a naysayer, but I didn't do the back in my 9 to 5 days potluck. Oh, I ate. I'm sorry, I forgot we
Right,
were having it because I'm like I see you the other 11 months of the year. Yeah, no.
right.
And those idle conversations that people tend to have about their pets. Oh, he did or she did the cutest thing.
Tiki Barber here. I remember those grueling practices, pushing through fatigue and striving for greatness. Well, that's the same dedication My Herba puts into their supplements. They understand the body's needs. My Herba takes a holistic approach to wellness. Whether it's their sea moss, immune defense, or even sleepy time, they have an option for you. Let My Herba make the best you with code BARBER10 for 10% off at thefitnesscollectif.com.
Note to self, not eating your food.
You don't want to eat everybody's food. So, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a good situation, but you're right, Casey. It
Yeah.
depends on who's cooking the food.
It's like
Do
we
I know
went,
you?
yeah.
Do you put your finger in and test and then put your finger back in?
Quadruple dipping? No, I'm
Right.
good. Yeah,
Skip the
no.
double dip. You quadruple dipping. Yeah.
Or back in the day when you're at work. Oh, Muffin just walked across the counter and surprised us all.
No, no.
Again, note to self, I will not be
I will
eating
not
your
be
food.
tasting your food. Not at all. Not at all. I know some people let their pets jump up on the
Yeah.
counter.
But see, people don't realize when they're telling you all those cutesy stories in March.
Stories.
Yeah. Don't think I forgot that. Again, mental
Right.
note. All these little conversations throughout the year at work that seem cute, and you got your pictures and you're dressing alike. And yeah.
You taking mental notes.
Oh, yeah. Which
You're
is
like,
why
oh,
I,
hell
I
yeah.
didn't partake.
Yeah.
I'll bring something from the store and let you unwrap it. I'm not dealing with that.
Okay. The lively parade. I like the lively parade.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. I think if we borrow ideas from this, maybe it wouldn't be as stressful because none of this is around consumerism. None of this centers around giving gifts. It's all
Yeah.
about community and being with family and friends. I don't see anything talking about giving of gifts and having all these different things that you have to do. So if you could take anything from it, it would be it's less pressure on you.
And even with the previous one you had said as well, it still comes down to community, family. And again, your family could be somebody that you deemed as your family. So
Right.
that's another thing I like. It doesn't have to be your actual relative of a family.
Family is not always blood.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-mm.
I definitely agree. I don't subscribe to that saying anymore that blood is thicker than water.
Because let me tell you, I've been cut down to the bone, and that blood was pretty thick. But it
Right.
was that's about as thick as it was after that.
You're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about this? Let's talk about embracing complexities. So, acknowledging the emotional layers. I'll let you talk on this one.
With the holidays, it's a kaleidoscope of emotions. You got joy, nostalgia, grief, stress, and it all can coexist. And then you might add a little liquor to it, and it
Oh,
will enhance that as well.
oh,
And not saying it's always a bad thing, but it is a very when I was a kid, I was able to think, oh my God, I can't wait until Christmas. And I'm counting down the days. And now in my life, everything is going super duper fast. Whereas as a kid, it was like I couldn't get to Christmas fast enough.
right.
And it just my mom every once in a while would say stuff like we wouldn't be thrilled with some of the toys that we got. And she works for the county. And she would ask, hey, how was your Christmas? And some of the kids would tell her Santa didn't make it this year. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
what? In my mind, what the fuck?
Right.
Kids are dealing with adult stressors. So there's so many complex things that go with that. And then when you like I said, you have the joy of
Mhm.
it. And I know of some family members that we deem as family that she lost her husband this year. So this is going to be a first Christmas without her husband.
Right.
On one hand is joyful. I'm sure at the beginning of the year it was a joyful discussion. Everybody was happy. Now that mixture of emotion, it's grief. You probably are dreading dealing with that. I know when that's happened to a lot of people. That first of first is horrible. On one
Absolutely.
minute it's joyful, but then yeah, we can all sit around and reminisce, but damn, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, it always hits you really hard during the holidays because I mean those are family functions.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
technically we should be always communicating, but that's not, in the real world, how likely is that? Things move so fast. But you could always count on like Thanksgiving or Christmas where family's going to get together and you get to see these people,
Right.
good, bad, or indifferent. But when you have that loss, like it hits you hard. Those emotions hit you, especially when you're used to seeing this person all the time during those family functions. Now they're not going to be there. And you have to navigate those emotions, not so much as yours, but other people as well that may come and bring some type of that energy, right? To
Right.
bring down the festivities. They probably don't mean to. People grieve differently. So those emotional layers are there definitely, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a personal story is I lost my brother years ago, and I can't even tell you what my parents how they felt because as we all know, you have children and you're not expecting to bury your own child. Like I
Right.
said, I even though my kids, I in my mind, I've killed you every day because you got on my nerves. But in actuality, I cannot even imagine having to bury my own child. That is something that's also really heavy.
Absolutely. A similar story to that. We also, when we moved into our first house, not this house that we're in now, but we moved into our first house, I want to say about 10 years ago. The first Thanksgiving we had, my uncle was still living. And he came and we all hung out. It felt like old times. We actually had the whole family together. That's the first time in a long time the whole family was under one roof. It was at my house. And then that not even a year later, he has an aneurysm and passes away. And again, like you said, burying no mother wants to bury their child.
No.
And that's what we ended up having to do. My grandmother having to bury her son, my uncle. And so after that, our family gatherings were really never the same again. We really could not get it together. We couldn't bring it together emotionally to have all of us under the same roof in the same house.
Right.
And it's just those things can happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
What can you do? You keep moving. What are some strategies do you think we could do? A person who's dealt with similar stories like we have, the loss of family and dealing with that grievance, those grief.
well, there's no one set thing that helps. I know sometimes just taking 10 minutes to meditate or even write in your journal.
Yeah.
And some people would say, I ain't writing in no journal. That's a diary. I ain't no 14-year-old girl. But sometimes getting those feelings out, if people don't feel comfortable talking with someone, and a lot of people, sometimes it's easier for females versus males to go to someone to talk to because of that whole macho image, whoever you are.
Right.
And so journaling is definitely something you could do. That way you can write your feelings down. You don't have to worry about judgment. It's you writing what you're feeling. You light a candle, sharing that memory. I know my grandmother was Catholic. So
Mhm.
when she would go to church, she would always light a candle. And I was like, what is it? What is that for? And so she was praying for people specifically, and or she was praying to receive something specifically. But lighting a candle, she was always doing that. And that was her way of taking ownership and moving forward with her feelings on various subject matters. And just embrace what you're missing, because I know, like, for me, when my brother passed away, I first thing I wanted to do was just not so much forget, but I wanted to busy myself with everything else so I would not think about him or anything like that. And put the emotion where it is. If you feel like crying and screaming, that's your choice. And then you let it out and you can, I'm not going to say move on because to me that's disrespectful, but you can get through a lot easier
Right.
because you have let off some of that stress, because you
Right.
don't never move on because it's been over 20 plus years for my brother, and I can talk about him and laugh, and then after a while, okay, here we go, I got to move on
Right.
because it gets too it hurts sometimes. So, and
Yeah.
that's why I say the word move on is to me personally, it's just disrespectful. I mean, because I feel like I'm not moving on to forget. I'm trying to just get through so I can manage how I'm feeling, basically. It's word semantics,
Word
but
semantics.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're not really forgetting. You're just
I have to put it in
coping.
its compartment for
Right.
that point in time. I really do.
Right.
And
I'm not one
yeah.
of those people who subscribe to, because I see a lot of folks when people pass away, and I know this is off topic. What do we say? Topic adjacent.
Yeah.
Topic adjacent. When you lose loved ones, a lot of times people get into this habit of continually the day of the death, or definitely the day of death, going and memorializing or going to the cemetery and reliving it over and over again. And I've never been a person that could do that. I'm kind of like what you were explaining. I have to compartmentalize it
Mm-hmm.
and keep moving forward. I feel that I'm doing myself an injustice by reliving it all the time, because then I'm putting myself in an emotional state that in my opinion, they're in a better place. Yes, I would prefer for them to be here with me, but I do believe that this afterlife is a better life. So I try not to look down on it or keep remembering that memory all the time. Every once in a while I can look up with loved ones that I've lost and think of the good times. But I think a lot of people think of the actual instance when they lost them. And for me, I can't do that. In order for me to move on and keep my sanity, especially for loved ones, I have to compartmentalize it and keep moving.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next segment.
Yeah. Go to the next one. That was topic adjacent.
I mean, and then it's also one can cause strife as well in various different directions, and it's financial pressures. You trying to just make it, and you just trying to make it through the day or make it through the week. And now on top of that, you got to get gifts. See, I don't feel I have to give gifts. So I don't really have that kind of financial pressure
Mm-hmm.
for me. Yeah. Now I have grandkids, so therefore they don't understand how I feel about it. So I still get stuff for them, but I got a lot of them. So if somebody wants some house shoes, guess what? Everybody's getting house shoes.
Everybody's getting house
I'm
shoes.
going on Amazon and there's a ton of different styles and everything else. Everybody's getting that. So that's like how I handle the large amounts. And as far as economically, that's the reality for me. I'm not trying to get those big fancy gifts. That's for the parents to do. I'm not doing that. And if
Oh
they
yeah.
choose to do so, fine. But even when I was raising my kids, we would get things maybe early enough in the year, or we get maybe one thing that you like, and I get you some other, adjacent stuff that you wanted. But that's
Right.
about it. That's it. With rising costs of everything, even small traditions like hosting a dinner, that could feel overwhelming. And again, we're
Yeah.
talking finances because food has gone up now
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh.
And I'm sure people want more than just a salad. And then sometimes the stressor comes in with that when you have certain family members that are coming and you want everything to go extra special.
Right.
So you've got that. So it's all of that. There are also some strategies out there to lighten the load, to help everybody out. Redefining gift giving.
Yep.
You can focus on handmade gifts. I know people are like, "What the fuck?" But
Ain't no stick made. Mm-mm.
You made a shadow puppet. How you do
Right.
that? So
No
you know,
origami. What is that?
oh man, no. But yeah, focus on handmade stuff instead of material things. And for me, when my kids were smaller, they made stuff at school. And
Yep.
again, now that they're all grown, I don't want them to make anything handmade for me. I want them to buy me something. I'm your mother. Now, does that happen? But
No, it's not.
again, they'll get me a little something that they feel I should have, which is the roles reversing now because I got what I felt they should have.
Right.
It's that. And then you can also set a budget. Again, if you have so many people, and that's when they do that. What is it, that gift exchange?
White elephant.
Yeah, there you go. And there
Mm-hmm.
was a dollar figure put on that.
Yep.
So, and like I said, if I got a Starbucks card, I'm like, she only paid $5 for this. I know that. So,
That's funny. You're laughing, but my mom, she was good for giving me the Starbucks card and a new, what is it? Those Starbucks.
oh, the mug or
Yeah,
tumblers or whatever. Okay.
those new fancy schmancy Starbucks things. I had
Oh,
a whole bunch of those.
oh, I'm dating myself here, but back in the day, we would always get those McDonald's gift certificates.
Oh Lord.
I don't even know if they even do that anymore because
I
I
don't
don't eat
know.
there. But yeah, you'd have like a paper check of sorts, and they would print them out like maybe $5, $10, and you would get that. So yeah,
What you
very
was
interesting.
given? The gift
From
that keeps
time to
on
time,
giving. Mickey
yeah.
D's.
And it never and it left. I probably didn't even leave yet. It's probably stuck in my crawl somewhere. But yeah, that was the things that they would give out a lot of the
Right.
times. And yeah, again, hosting a potluck
Yep.
instead of a full dinner.
Absolutely.
Again, mindful of who's bringing what. You want the list. You don't want any surprises.
Absolutely. And if you
You
don't
know.
want too much pressure, if you want to be like me, I'm always the one cooking. Another good thing you could do, or cost efficient but can be fancy, little appetizers. Have a lot of different appetizers, little bite-sized desserts. Don't cost a lot. It's budget friendly, I would say.
But the main thing is just having people that you want around. And maybe you can't do so
Absolutely.
much necessarily for Thanksgiving, but it seems like to me, Christmas, you can who you really want to spend time with. And I don't mean like that special person necessarily on Christmas Eve, but just in
Hmm.
general, I like the overall feel of the holiday season. So it's like some of us, I have a group of people I get together with, and we go and have coffee. Not as often
Right.
as we would all like because everybody's schedule is so incredibly different, but it's that kind of stuff. People, to me, people that you choose to be around,
Right.
that means a whole hell of a lot to me than people you have to be around. We all have our crosses to bear, of course, but to me, just really being with the group that you want to be with,
Right.
period. That makes a lot. Or what is there? We can also do like purposeful acts of kindness.
Yes. Let's
I,
talk
I
about that.
yeah,
Purposeful
I'm up
acts
for
of
that.
kindness.
Yeah.
So go.
Oh no. Yeah,
All right.
you.
She said, no, you.
I'll jump in, of course.
Right. So when we talk about acts of kindness, when stress takes over, giving back can shift the focus of bringing surprising joy. So when we talk about random acts of kindness, like leaving a note of encouragement,
See,
like
that's so
Casey
you.
was saying, paying for someone's coffee, pay it forward. Have you ever? Because I've experienced it and I've also done it. Where people, I'm in the Starbucks line and I make my order and
Yeah, I've had
then
that
I go to
happen.
pay. Yeah. And then I pay for the person behind me as well and just take off. Acts of kindness like that, paying it forward, definitely is something that you can do. Being purposeful. Surprise a friend with a thoughtful gesture. Like Casey was saying again, a gift card or your friend, you know what they like. I like candles, giving a candle. Some people like incense. Just play on certain things that a friend likes and buy them a little something. It goes a long way. It's very purposeful. It's very in showing intention in a way. Volunteering. You can volunteer your time. That's a way of being purposeful, especially during the holidays. They usually have a lot of places, the Salvation Army, any type of, if you belong to any type of religious community, they usually have opportunities for you to volunteer and give back or go to certain places to give gifts or provide bags of food to people who are less needy. So that allows you to be purposeful as well during the holidays. That a lot of times that warms your heart to know that you are providing something to someone that doesn't necessarily have it
Right.
and you do, and you want to give to someone, and it definitely helps you put your life into perspective. I've done it a lot with regards to the church that I'm affiliated with. We've donated bags of food. We've gone to women's shelters where domestic violence and things of that nature, and being able to give back and give those ladies and those children toys or things that they need, and also pray for them and listen to them and talk to them. That definitely means something, and it gives you a little bit of purpose. Makes you feel like you're not just thinking of yourself, you're thinking of other people.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which she's
I mean,
like,
it's a list. I'm sorry. We are on, right? It's a lot. It's a lot that that goes on during the season, and it
Yeah.
doesn't stop on the 31st of December. It's just, I guess one of the things why I was so silent here, it's like these are things that can be done all through the year.
Yep.
And I was trying to even go introspectively, and it was like, how many of those have I actually done on a consistent basis? So it was all about me for that moment. Sorry. Sorry.
No. It's true though. What you're saying is the introspective of it all. How better this world would be if we did this more on a consistent basis instead of only waiting to the holiday season to get all joyful and give back to people. If we actually just thought about doing these acts of kindness on a continual basis, not just one, but a lot, most of us, how things would probably be different with mankind.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Just
So I
saying,
guess,
folks.
yeah. So the takeaway for that basically is kindness doesn't have to be grand. It really doesn't. It's small, it's thoughtful acts of kindness. And that often makes a big difference. And especially when I used to ride public transportation out here, it's called BART. But sometimes just speaking to somebody and finding out, hey, I had a rough morning, and this conversation, as probably pointless as it would ever be on the train, it might make you laugh. Hell, that happened to me before. You just never know what somebody is going through, and you can either be that last straw and that
Right.
person just goes off, or you could be that person that's, damn, you know what? Thanks. I
Right.
needed to hear that. Or it was just nice talking to you for that moment.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I got from it.
Absolutely. I can think we can add the acronym. What is it? KISS. Keep it simple or keep it super simple. Keep it
Oh,
super
okay.
simple.
Yeah,
Doesn't take a lot. Little things say a lot.
for sure.
What do we got next?
Next.
Navigating the psychology and history of holiday blues.
Yes.
Ooh.
And why the holidays can be and feel heavy. This is, you know what? This is like a down ass podcast today.
It makes you think. It's almost like therapy. We're like getting through some things mentally.
Oh my God. It seems like it's circling back to the same shit. It's good God. Is Santa gonna pop out this tree or something? I need some kind of diversion.
We are dealing with the holiday blues, Casey.
I know.
It is not wine and cherries and strawberries.
It's not. But it can be. But it can be.
Yes. Get into that.
God. I know.
I know.
Emotional amplification.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No. Tell me, what is that?
This time of the year brings the spotlight to what we have and what we don't. The historical context, the pressure for the perfect holiday, it's a modern intervention of the invention driven by consumerism and media. I just threw that other part in there because I basically fucked up. And I think that went really badly. I'm going to call it out before anybody else does. There you go.
Right.
It makes good radio.
Exactly. Get to it before anybody else does.
Yeah. But yeah, it's this again, the stressor of trying to make it a perfect holiday. And you see all these different Hallmark TV shows, which I don't watch, but you see them all because, I'll meet you in the bookstore, I'll meet you at the coffee shop, or I'll meet you on the same road that they were on the last 24 episodes. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. We, in my household, are perfectly imperfect. So that, and it's come a long time for us to all basically say it or just don't give a shit. And even down to, and this is this is off topic, but even for Thanksgiving, I don't do the traditional turkey. We don't do that. I grew up with that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to, I don't want to eat that. I don't eat it during the year. I don't want to eat it then.
Tell the people what you eat.
Well, we love Indian food. So we go to this Indian and Pakistani restaurant. We get a bunch of stuff from there. This year, we also went to a Vietnamese restaurant.
Ooh.
You see, there's a theme there.
International
And,
theme,
yeah,
international cuisine.
and then we stop and get Filipino food. So some of it just crosses anyway. But in one year we had, what was it? Tacos and cheesecake.
Yep, I remember you telling me that. And I was like, okay, that's different.
Yeah. And family goes, if we go to families, they're typically going to have that. And that's
Right.
not what we want.
See, she's not traditional. I am the traditional person of this podcast. I do the turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce and all that stuff. And that's probably because I do love the tradition of Thanksgiving and I love to cook and I love to cook the turkey and all that stuff. But to be honest, that is the only time I eat turkey. I don't eat turkey sandwiches throughout the year. I don't buy turkey wings or anything like that. So literally, when I make a turkey, that's the 3 days that I'm going to eat on turkey and all its accoutrement.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm
that's why I
chopping
do
on
it.
Pecora. Sorry. That's what I'm doing.
I look at Christmas more
And a glass of wine, for sure.
I look at Christmas as more non-traditional. I don't necessarily have to make traditional meals for it. We usually do gumbo, but I've also done like just a breakfast, Christmas morning breakfast.
I know a family
Do
that
that.
did that.
Yeah. So I can make that one. We can morph that one into anything. But Thanksgiving, I'm the traditional girl on Thanksgiving. Let us know in the comments if you're traditional or non-traditional for your holidays, specifically Thanksgiving. Love to hear from you guys.
Wow. We are so different.
I know.
It is.
We are the same, but so different.
Yeah, it is unreal. I don't know if we even mentioned it on our intro, but what 6 feet?
I'm 5'11".
Well, okay. That's
Almost there.
Well, see, there you go. And she wears these high heels
5
already.
inchers. Yep.
Yeah. And then I am nowhere near her height by
Come on,
any
just say
stretch of
it.
the imagination.
Don't hide it
I'm
now.
4'11".
There you go.
And I rarely wear high heels.
Where are we at? Where's the camera?
Yeah.
When we're together, I'm just gonna get this. It's more like this.
Wow, really?
Yeah. She like come up to my hip, y'all.
So yeah. And
For the visual. Audio,
yeah.
y'all not gonna see this. Check us out on YouTube to see the visual.
And the thing about it is and I wear Crocs all the time or in my bare feet or low heel shoes.
Right.
So
I do not. I do wear Crocs sometimes now. Come on, Casey.
Maybe
you see,
around
I
the
wore
house.
Crocs when we did the axe throwing this weekend. I had my Crocs.
No,
on.
you had but you came in with some high heels. That's why I knew. I go, oh, there she
is.
I
had my Crocs. I'm just
told. You did?
Yeah. I had my purple Crocs.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Maybe it was too much of the IPA. I think
there
that might
you
have
go.
been it too. Yeah, there. I'm gonna blame it on the IPA.
Blame it on the IPA. Exactly.
Oh my God. Oh man. But yeah, but how to shift your perspective is something that I still deal with. Just on just daily stuff. Oh, it's half. Oh, yeah. I'm changing that perspective. I'm speaking it into fruition, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So that helps to reframe the holidays as a time for rest, gratitude, and connection rather than meeting unrealistic expectations.
Yeah. I think that's important. I mean, it is a mind shift because technically this could be a mind fuck. A lot of times it can mess with you. So
no, it's a cluster. It's a cluster.
Right. So it's really about changing your mindset, your perspective on all of this, and stop paying attention to what everybody else is doing, what's on TV, what's on social media, and just do what's best for you and your family. I don't know if you agree with that. But that's what I'm saying.
They'll let you know. They'll let you know if they don't.
Yeah. So what's the next one we got? Self-discovery practices. Self-discovery, transforming the season into a time of growth. Reverse the advent calendar. I am getting people. Reverse
You're
the
popular.
advent calendar. All right. Each day, removing something from your life, clutter, stress, or even limiting belief. I like this because I'm actually in the process of doing this right now, removing clutter. And I think we've discussed this before on another one of our podcasts. For me, I can get overwhelmed, and decluttering things actually relieves a lot of stress for me. It makes me feel a lot more open, relieved, relaxed, and able to just take on things or see things sometimes. I don't know if that makes sense. If you can use that to use the reverse advent calendar to like declutter or remove clutter, remove stress, and things of that nature, I think that's a good thing. Creating a vision board. I actually do this as well, but I have it on my phone. So I created one for my phone because I couldn't,
Is that
them big old boards. I just couldn't do it, you
see?
guys.
I don't do everything through my phone.
This,
Okay, all right,
I created
okay.
one on my phone. So it's constantly with me and I can constantly look at it. And it just helps me to keep my thoughts or what my vision is in perspective. So you can create a vision board. Do it on your phone if you don't like that big old thing on your wall. I don't like it. Do it on your phone. Write a letter to yourself. Now, I've never done this. Yeah, I've
There
never
are
done this.
places that you can do that. I think I saw something online one time, and you can do that, and you can set it for however, like either 2 years from now, 5 years, and it'll come back to your email or something like that.
We had a show, got a show, tap in, shameless plug on Sundays. But we had a guest up and he was saying that there's this podcaster, I can't remember his name. And what he does is at the beginning of the year, he creates a video. He records this video and he talks about it's like a letter for themselves or writing out their goals for their expectations. And then they finish recording and then they set it or remind on their calendar they schedule it to air the end of the year. And so they look at what they said at the beginning of the year at the end of the year.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And I was like, I like that. So, like a letter to yourself, your plans, your dreams, your expectations, your goals, and then set it to the end of the year and see what you did during that year. And you get to rewatch it. And I was like, I think I want to do that. So, I think that was a good idea
That sounds really
to,
cool.
yeah. So, like a visual letter.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can write one. I know Casey is more of a writer. I'm not. I'm more of this video person, so I think I'm
Oh
going to
my
try the video.
God. Yeah. When we're getting ready for the show, she'll send me this text or she'll send me like, yeah, I sent you an email.
Yes.
And so I go and I have to print it all out. I can't just look at my phone and scroll. I can't do that because I got anxiety. See, I've got issues. So I have anxieties with that because what if my phone goes down? What if this? And
Right.
because I've had that happen before. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, no, I have to write it down. I have to write it no matter
Yeah.
what.
She's the writer. She has to put pen to paper.
Oh.
I like it, but Casey, like, she is a proponent for it. She comes in when we used to meet, she would have all these different like notebooks and journals and just paper.
Yeah,
She
I know.
got
Sometimes there ain't nothing on the paper, just paper for no fucking reason. Just in case a thought came up.
Right. She
Yeah.
had all this paper. I'm like, oh my God. I used to be like that, but now I'm just like, yeah, go and copy paste and da-da. Voila. Here it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
That's me. I'm the yin to her yang.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Those are some 3 things. So we talked about the advent calendar with regards to self-discovery practices. So the advent calendar, reverse advent calendar, creating a vision board. That could be the actual board or digitally. And then writing a letter to yourself. Again, if you like putting a pencil to pad, do it that way. or you can record it. Nothing's, whatever floats your boat, I would say do it.
Let's see. Going to the other one, navigating the holidays as a couple or single.
All right.
Challenges for couples: different expectations, busy schedules, and holiday stress can make connection difficult. As far as some of the strategies, what some of them could be: set shared goals, communicate openly, and carve out intentional time together.
Right.
That little segment right there was just, not even segment, the little output of that was different expectations.
Right.
For sure. Luckily, I haven't dated for years, so I don't have to deal with the expectation part of it. Now, my husband knows exactly what I want or don't want. And again, here we are, something a little different for a lot of people. We don't exchange gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't exchange gifts, whether it be Christmas. We don't exchange gifts on birthdays. They're like, damn, y'all like each other. But what we do is, my birthday's in May, his is in June. We try to take a trip together, whether it be domestic or international, depending, and we'll encompass the entire year. That's how we do it. And again, Valentine's, we don't do it. Now, my husband gets Valentine candy to our daughters. He's been doing that ever since they were itty
That's
bitty.
so sweet.
And so one year, because they both had suitors, if you will.
Right.
And so my husband was like, I ain't got to do that no more. They actually called and were like, Dad, where's my candy? Yep.
You double dipping.
Look, you're married and you got a boyfriend. That ain't my job no more.
Right.
But still, one is in her 30s and one is vastly knocking on her 30s. And he still, on Valentine's Day, goes and gets them a 1-pound box of candy.
Oh.
And out here, for folks that know, it's C's candy.
Yes,
I don't know where it would be other places, but he gets that for them. And he'll pick up a couple little trinkets at the chocolate factory for me, because he wants to eat some of this stuff too. But that was something, a tradition that they just organically fell into. Yeah, they do that, but we don't typically exchange any of that kind of stuff. And it's because we do what we do all through the year. And at first, that was more or less because of a financial strain, and not that it's not something we got to watch today, but we've continued to do that. At time we would do more items and get gifts, but then it was like, what do you want? I don't know. Now I'm pissed.
Right.
You don't know what you want? And then here it is. Okay, it comes from the same bank account.
Right.
But basically, I bought it myself. So yeah.
Casey and I are the similar in this way. So this is where we're similar. Our husbands are the way we maneuver with our husbands. We don't celebrate that either. I would say we celebrate Christmas, but we're not into the major gift giving. We're like over that. That was when we were first. He said the first like 10, 15 years, of course, we were, doing that. But
I thought you were going to say minutes.
Right. No.
Sorry.
The first 10, 15 years, yes, we were all into that. And it was more, I think I did it more for us because he wasn't into holidays at all. And the reason why he wasn't really into holidays is because they focused all on the children. So we're extended blended. We have an extended blended family. So my husband has 2 kids prior to us, and I have a son. And so he was into, it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids, never about him. So he never celebrated Christmas, his birthday, or anything like that. So of course, me being who I am, I wanted to let him know that you do deserve gifts and stuff like that. So we started this gift giving thing when we first got together. But after so many years, you when you get to a certain level, I guess, not level, when you get to, there's most of the stuff that he's buying for me or I'm buying for him, we can go out and buy for ourselves on any other given day. So it wasn't really this major thing. And I'm not into buying. I don't need this huge diamond ring every year for you to grace me with. That's not what I am. That's not what I do. So We just started going to the stores on Christmas, well, before Christmas, and we buy a whole bunch of workout gear because we work out. So we
Oh,
just
that's
get new
sexy.
workout
Or it
gear.
could be. I don't know. Okay.
Right.
You're talking about for the gym, right?
Right, for the gym.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
Yeah, no, we ain't going there. We ain't doing that.
A
No,
different segment. Okay.
different segment, yes. But yeah, we just buy workout stuff. So it's not a big deal like that. It's we enjoy each other's company. We're always going and doing something as a couple. It's never been, I won't say it's never been, but it's not something that we really focus on a lot where, oh, I gotta buy him something. What do you like? I know what he likes. And he likes to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Some new gym clothes or stuff like that. It's not that serious. And Valentine's Day, we don't celebrate either because I think I showed Casey, I was like, I kill flowers. I don't like chocolate. It's not a major thing for me. I can eat it, but I don't like getting chocolate all the time. And I don't like teddy bears. I got teddy bears all through my high school young years when I was dating. So I'm over the teddy bears, flowers, and chocolate. So you don't have to do that for me. We just usually either I'll cook a nice dinner or we'll go for a nice dinner and a drink, sit at a bar, drink and eat, talk, and then come home. It's no big to do at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like you said, we're similar in a lot of ways where I like seeing pretty flowers, but I
Right.
don't necessarily want flowers. I
I
like
kill them.
plants. See, my thing is if I like
They
it,
went
I want it to last. For me, I prefer a plant. My husband will get me a bonsai plant. One year I got some other kind of plant. The snake plant. They're supposed to be good for oxygen in the room. It absorbs and it keeps everything. I don't know all the background, but it was a health reason, that kind of
right.
thing. Plus it looked cool. So, and we still have them. So those are the things that I like. So that's why
Exactly.
I prefer that. But then I know people that like the whole design with dried flowers. But no, just give me
Yeah.
a plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say just do what works for you, but don't get caught up in the
Absolutely.
consumerism of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Create
tell you,
your
my
own
husband ain't
traditions.
caught up. He's not caught up in the consumerism at
No.
all.
No. He's not. We have very simple, like, husbands. They're just not into all of that at all. They're like, I can live without it. We can sit in the house, pop some popcorn, watch a show, and we're cool. It's not that serious.
Well, even if we do that, about 10 minutes later, I'm at least knocked out.
Right.
I don't care how good the movie is. It's just, I'm out.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm going. See you in the morning. How was the movie? Was it good? Okay.
I've had to watch TV shows or movies like 3 or 4 different times. Thank God I was able to stream it because I fell asleep on this part. Then I had to go on that part. So it takes me a couple of tries.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't see you're getting a theme from us, get out of the consumerism, create your own thing during the holidays. It's less stressful if you can get anything from this conversation.
Man, once you can just say, fuck it, it's, oh God, a weight. And I seriously mean that. A weight is lifted.
Right. Right.
That's why I'm walking around here. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. All the time. I feel good.
Right. Right. A relief of stress. Absolutely. Now, I want to talk on this one because this was I think this for today, right now, what we're dealing with, or what we did deal with, navigating grief, family, but more political divides, because that was the thing. If you didn't, I don't know if you watched the news, we just had in the United States, we had a presidential election, right? And believe it or not, there were some people that were talking about this on the news where they're like, well, how do you navigate Thanksgiving holiday when your family member voted for a specific person that you didn't agree with? And if you're living under a rock, then you're living under a rock. There were 2 candidates that we had out here in the United States, and one was extremely unpopular, and that extremely unpopular, he actually got the popular vote, but if you believe the news media, he was very unpopular. And so they were like, how do you deal with going to over a family's house and they voted for that person? And people were actually talking about just foregoing being with your family because of the way you voted. And so I thought that was very interesting to have that type of conversation, number one, and have that dynamic, number two, that's the space that we're in the world today. We're just dealing with who you voted for can actually cause that type of tension to where you don't even want to be around your family. You can have conflict during the holidays because of something like that. What they're saying about this with managing that family conflict is like setting your boundaries and deciding ahead of time what topics are off the table, like stuff you just don't want to talk about, and when it's time to step away. I think that's smart, especially if I would do that as opposed to just foregoing to a family's house because of something like that. You can easily just say, hey, not something I want to discuss, just here to hang out with family, have fun, haven't seen you in a while. Just let's play games, let's drink, let's eat, let's be merry. Let's not discuss that. So you can easily avoid it that way by just setting those boundaries. Set the boundary. You can also focus on neutral activities. So shifting the focus to, like I just said, games, movies, or shared experiences to avoid the tension. You can never go wrong with having a karaoke machine during the holidays. Okay. Never go wrong with having that.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
I've only done that once.
Okay. It's fun.
No, it's not.
You don't like the karaoke?
Well, I take that back. It was because I was around people I didn't know, and I guess I didn't have enough liquor in me, or liquid courage, as some would say.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, no. And then some would get up there and sound. You would think that they were trying to be discovered, and it was like, my God, this is just a game, right? I don't know where they were transforming themselves to, but yeah, some people think that it's an audition,
right?
And then there's some that just, you know what? I know I can't sing, and I'm going to get up here and not sing correctly.
Correctly, and have some fun. I think that's the best thing. Laughter, games. You can't go wrong with Jenga, stuff like that.
Right.
You can have fun. Uno. Play games. Stay away from those testy topics during the holidays and just enjoy family. But don't, by no means, this is just my personal opinion. You don't have to abide by it. But by no means should you neglect going to see your family.
No.
You never know when that person or persons that you may not be here the next year and opted out of visiting or sharing time with someone because of their viewpoint on certain things. You know?
Right. And we poke fun and we talk, but again, on a serious side, you have to do what's best for you, for yourself, your family, and you have to. What is one person always would tell me? Take what resonates or take what is applicable to you, and just cast the other aside.
Absolutely. Push along, move along. If it doesn't apply, let it fly on by.
Oh, look at you. All right. You're a poet and didn't know it, right?
I'm done with you right now. I'm done with you. So let's do this. We've talked about a lot. We've discussed a lot. Hopefully you guys resonated with one or two things that we provided. So just to recap, we talked about cultural traditions. We talked about the financial stress. We talked about family dynamics. We've talked about self-discovery. And hopefully we've provided some knowledge on what that is, what those things are, what you can do, and how to maneuver, how to navigate these situations, especially during the holidays. Let us know in the comments. Let us know. I think I've added our email to our podcast. So if you're watching this on, or you're listening to this on Spotify, or you're listening to this on Apple or Google, let us know what you think. We've added our email address. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll go from there. If you have any topics that you want us to discuss, we are definitely interested in that as well. We love to chit chat. As you can see, we've been on here for about an hour. We can.
It doesn't even seem like it.
I know, but we love to have these discussions. We love to give our opinions on research that we've done, or our personal opinions, our personal perspectives on certain topic. Well, on any topic, to be honest. But let us know. Thank you for joining us today. And hopefully you'll see us again in the next one. Until then, what do we want to say?
Who are you?
Who are me? I am E.
And I'm Casey.
And we are Disrupt and Discuss.
Discuss.
All right, you guys. Bye.
Bye.